She was caught using a voodoo doll at a football game, and what happened next terrified everyone because the player the doll was made to represent suddenly started playing horribly and was even injured before the game really began. But it wasn't the only thing off, because the entire team went on to lose that game and hasn't won a single one since.
The only reason this is possible is because the soul of the player has been connected to this doll through witchcraft voodoo, through witchcraft manipulation. And the same way the soul of a person can be bound to this doll, okay, making the doll a host. That's the same way this statue here can host or be bound to a familiar spirit. Remember, it is not connected to God. God is not involved in any of this. So with repetition of this act, a familiar spirit will eventually be hosted in this. That is why the Lord said, do not make idols, because they become vessel to host unclean spirits. They are unknowingly contacting familiar spirits, meaning that there's no difference between this and this. They are both vessels. Just because someone makes a statue of you does not mean the statue is you. Just because they claim that this is the image of Christ doesn't mean it is Christ. This is a vessel. This is also a vessel that can host spirits. God does not dwell in vessels or temples made with hands. So we are the temple of God. God dwells in us, not in these things.
¿Cómo se dice? ¿Huevo? ¿Sí?
From my reaction, you can tell the doll was not designed to make moves. So due to her repetition of speaking to the doll, her affection towards the doll, an unclean spirit has been invited. Remember, this thing is a vessel, dolls for children. Okay, that's the same thing happening in the Catholic Church with those carved images. The repetition of prayer, of kissing it, will eventually invite an unclean spirit to be hosted in it.
Those image of Mary they bring up, you don't even know what Mary looks like. Those people are mere actors, and the next thing you start laying hands on it and praying for it, and you start contacting familiar spirit, seeing wrong images in your dreams.
So this is what I'm saying. God is not involved in any of this. And if God is not there, remember, there's no void in space. If light is not there, definitely there is darkness. The same way a child's doll could get possessed by an unclean spirit, the same way the voodoo doll can be used to invoke a person's spirit or be connected through witchcraft to a person's spirit, that's the same way these statues can be used to host an unclean spirit, okay, through the repetition of the prayer. Keep in mind that the enemy is an opportunist, and if by any means he can receive worship from men in place of God, he will do it. So he has convinced and influenced men to create idols and images of God, and by so doing, he is receiving worship.
They allowed people to think that there was a way around Jesus. Like, oh, it's okay, you can be Catholic and not truly believe in Jesus. You can pray to the Virgin Mary. Or why don't you pray to, the Archangel Michael, or pray to the Saint Lourdes? You can pray to any one of these. It's the same thing. It all goes to the same place.
That is why we are told not to bow down to the statues or to serve them, which means to communicate with them. The repetition of bowing down to the statue leads to an unclean spirit being invited into that vessel, okay? And it begins to receive the worship. Let's read from verse 4. You shall not make for yourself a carved image, any likeness of anything that is in heaven above, or that is in earth beneath, or that is in the water under the earth. You shall not bow down to them nor serve them, for I, the Lord, am a jealous God,